All right, let's go ahead and do 1 hour about motivation, meditation, and inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. So let's go ahead and start talking about how we can utilize this on a daily basis. How we can start putting it in such a way that the positivity can start coming out. So are you utilizing your level of focus? Are you putting yourself in a place where you're achieving your dreams, your goals, and the things that you focus on? Are you giving yourself the ability to have a foundation within yourself? Also talking about reading energy and getting ourselves in a way that we start to connect with the world and the universe, so that we can utilize these things on a daily basis. So let's go ahead and start talking about how focus can be utilized and how we can utilize the ability to use what we do have, so that we can achieve the things that we want to achieve inside. That is on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis. So what are some of the things that we can do? One of those is ask ourselves the question, is it positivity? Is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? Is it focus, knowledge, or discipline? If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. And the reason why I don't want it is because it's not a part of who I am on the inside. So how can we start to utilize these kind of tools? How can we start putting ourselves in a way that we start to utilize it to where the reflection starts to radiate outwards? And so one of those ways is by writing stuff down, by actually putting it in front of yourself and seeing that you can achieve the things that you put down, the ability to focus to that point where the results are just a reflection of your thought process. The results are the ability from going within yourself to achieve what you want to achieve, which is what other people are not achieving. They're not filling their goals. They're not filling their day. They're not becoming that kind of reflection on the outside from within. So how do we start asking ourselves these types of questions? What is the right way to start to write stuff down? What is the right way to start to focus? How can we start turning that into a foundation, into a way that what is actually coming out is actually not a surprise? That when other people see that you are focused to the point where you're achieving the things that you want to achieve, other people start asking you the question. They ask you, how is it possible to be able to get there? And so when you recognize inside that the reason why you are where you are is because the level of focus that you have inside and the utilization in this universe is utilizing what you do have, then it comes down to the mentality, the ability to think, and for the things to actually become a result of your own thought process from your own level of focus. And so how do we start to utilize this? How do we start to get ourselves to a place where we give ourselves that kind of time on a daily basis? So one of these ways is by actually making sure that you have time for yourself every single day. That when you're going through challenges, that your reflection comes from your ability to recognize that the challenges that you face off against are absolutely able to be overcome. They're absolutely there for you. They're asking you the question. The universe is asking you, can you do this? Can you achieve this? Can you get to that place where the reflection starts to radiate outwards from within you? And so this is when people start to actually see the reflection known as motivation. They start to see that by writing stuff down and that your level of focus starts to achieve that what ultimately radiates outwards is a level of reflection which other people start to call strong, they start to call motivated. They start to see that the things and the challenges that you are facing off against every day, you overcome for yourself. So it's never about somebody else. It's never about going through challenges for other people. It's always about you versus you. It's about you overcoming your challenges, you ultimately achieving your dreams, getting to the place where you're looking to go on a daily basis in such a way that other people's challenges they're able to start to see your level of focus. They're able to start to achieve their level of reflection from the focus that you actually have inside of yourself. So of course we know by writing stuff down. Also, listening to positivity, putting ourselves in a place where we recognize that Newton's third law, for each action there's an equal and opposite reaction, is very real. That the ability to see the positive and the negative, the way the universe actually utilizes it, the way the universe actually sees it, is a blessing. That you can utilize those types of challenges on a daily basis, that when you get to that place where you are utilizing what you do have, when you are utilizing the challenges that you face off against daily, that you can actually listen to people who are focusing to the point where the reflection that's actually radiating outwards is a reflection of motivation. So when you're seeing those people, look for their place where they're actually utilizing their focus. Look at the lesson that they're teaching from the place of focus, where the ability to go within oneself is definitely yours, where the ability to use what you do have is available to you. So how can we start to use focusing into positivity as a way to take things that we're facing off against? And we find that there have been a lot of people that have had a lot of challenges, and that, there's no difference between yesterday, today, tomorrow, next week. Ultimately, what's going on is our thought process, the ability to overcome our own challenges ourselves, to hit a place where that kind of reflection radiates outwards, where the ability for us to identify with a foundation of focus gives us the ability to use the tools that we have inside this universe. And the universe has the ability to ask you, to test you, like as if you were a tool in the universe. So if you don't have the right tool, then you can't actually utilize it. So recognizing the tools that you do have, recognizing the ability that you do have inside of yourself, giving yourself that ability to achieve that on a daily basis, is utilizing what you do have. It's utilizing the things that you're going through, the challenges that you're facing off against. One of those tools is the ability to recognize the energy inside a human being, recognize the ability that the challenges are based off of energy fields that exist inside the human being. That when we focus to that point where we start to overcome our own challenges, that we can utilize things like listening to positivity, like seeing when you have that in front of yourself, that you can compare to your own challenges, that you can compare to the things that you are going through, that you have that kind of ability, that ultimately a level of focus creates that kind of reflection. And that is when other people start to call you motivation. That's when other people start to call you strong. They start to see that you are achieving things, and they ask you, how were you able to achieve that? How were you able to get to that place when I couldn't do that myself? And so that's when using what you do have starts to become tools. This universe starts to use what you have. It starts to see that you can do things that others wouldn't be able to do when you're focused on a able mentality, when you're utilizing the energy that you have within you, the ability to use what you have. And so a lot of times when people aren't able to achieve their own things, what comes out is them saying, I just don't have enough energy. And ultimately what they're saying is they were not focused enough to achieve what they wanted to achieve. Otherwise, they would have given themselves the time to focus into that, to put that first, to give themselves the ability to have that on a daily basis, to where that's the priority, where that is the first thing that they focus on. Because when we put too many things in front of what we want to master, we become a master of nothing. So we might as well start mastering this. We might as well start mastering ourselves. We might as well start recognizing how other people have achieved that, how the energy within a human being can flow, how the ability to utilize that kind of focus can create a foundation. And so I am definitely here to do readings. I am here to connect with people. Leave a comment down below, like I was saying, if you would like to get an energy reading done. And start getting into a place where we can start to align ourselves in a place where the foundation of focus starts to be utilized. Another way is to speak it out. Another way is to speak to other people, to express that level of focus to a point where other people can identify with it. They can actually see where you're utilizing it on a daily basis. And so when you're willing to achieve things that others aren't willing to achieve, then the results come back and you're not surprised. You're not surprised when you get that promotion. You're not surprised when that challenge becomes overcome. You're not surprised when you have to climb that mountain, where you have to get to the place inside of yourself where you versus you, where the challenges that you face off against are in front of you, where that ability to utilize those kind of challenges on a daily basis gives you the ability to recognize how you can overcome your own challenges. And so when we speak things out, we actually allow ourselves to truly utilize our level of focus to that point. We give ourselves that ability to use what we do have. We give ourselves the ability to use the challenges that we face off against. Then other people start to see that as strength. They start to see that as a reflection. They start to see that as the ability to utilize a reflection. And that is when other people start to call you motivation. They start to call you the reflection of ultimately your foundation in your level of focus, your foundation in your mastery, your foundation in your ability that this universe has the ability to utilize you. And so it's about getting an able mentality. It's about getting yourself to a place where when you are actually writing stuff down, the stuff that you are writing down is giving you the ability to see the positive and the negative and turn it into positivity. Take the angle and the things that are being thrown at you and turn them positive. Take the things that are being thrown at you and giving yourself the ability to have that kind of able mentality where you can overcome your own challenges, where they no longer have an ability to stop you. And so, like I was saying, I am here to help people to get to that place. I'm here to uplift you. I'm here to tell you that when you do what I am saying, that when you give yourself that ability to master your own things, you give yourself that ability to get down with yourself, to challenge your own things on a daily basis, to get to the place where the reflection radiates outwards from within you, that the light inside of you shines, the ability for other people to see your mentality at a level where the universe can utilize you as a tool in this universe, the tools that you do have, the ability to use what you do have, because it's never about what you don't have, it's always about what you do have and doing with what you got. It all has to deal with the ability to get to that place. And so when we use these types of things, we use these kind of techniques, when we give ourselves these abilities to truly focus and to study into that type of stuff, to give yourself the ability that focus becomes a process, that focusing is a part of the daily purpose, that the reason why you wake up is because you're focused. The reason why you fall asleep at night is because you're focused. When you start to get down with yourself, you start to master your morning, you start to master your day, you start to get to the place where the reflection starts to radiate outwards from within you. That is when other people start to see these kind of things coming out of you. They start to see these kind of energies coming out from within you. They start to see this kind of light radiating in such a way that other people start to identify that you are strong, that you are focused, that you are determined, that the challenges that you face off against are not too great for you. And so when you start to focus to that level, when you start to get to that place inside of yourself, where you start to answer those types of questions for yourself, there's nobody else that'll do that for you. There's nobody else that can do that for you. It's ultimately you versus you. It's ultimately you giving yourself the ability to utilize this universe in such a way that the universe has the ability to utilize what you have. Utilizing this universe in such a way that the challenges that you face off against, you have the ability to overcome. And so focusing to this point, getting to this place where these type of challenges no longer have the ability to stop that kind of focus. They no longer have the ability to stop the person that you want to become. They no longer have the ability for the reflection to stop who you are on the inside. Blessings. And so when we allow ourselves that kind of reflection outwards from our own level of focus, from our own achievement within ourselves, to utilize what we do have on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. The reason why we're waking up is because we're focused. The reason why we're sleeping is because it's a foundation. And blessings, the ability to get to the down with yourself at that point where that becomes as focused, as sharp as it can be, where when you realize the tools that you do have are actually working for you. So how can we use these tools? How can we get to this place? How can you start to answer the question to yourself? How can you allow your level of focus to move the things that are not meant for you out of the way? How can you start to get to the place where other people start to identify that you have what it takes, that you actually can dominate your day, that you can become strong from within yourself, that your level of focus is what you call yourself, where it's other people that see that. It's when other people see that you are overcoming your own challenges. It's when other people see that there aren't things that have the ability to stop you, that your mindset is able to face off against the challenges that you face off against on a daily basis. And so with this kind of focus, this kind of ability to get to that place where the energy within oneself starts to flow, the energy starts to flow in such a way that the process of focus becomes an absorption. The process of the ability to get down with yourself truly, to challenge yourself to that point, ends up allowing you to become your best friend. It starts to allow you to face off against your own challenges. They no longer have the ability to create fear in your life. They no longer have the ability to stop you from overcoming those things that you wanted to overcome yourself. That means that your dreams start to become possible. That means that your ability to get to the place where every challenge that you face off against, you have the ability to overcome. That when we utilize what we do have, this universe has that ability to answer that type of question. It's because we are tools in this universe. We have the ability to be utilized as a tool, and the universe has the ability to utilize the tool that you are when you utilize what you do have inside of yourself. And so I was asked a question, what is the reason we are alive? And so the answer to that question is that you all are a tool. You are a tool in this universe. The level of focus that you have inside of yourself is that. When people are asking you if you can do something, they're looking to see the tools that you have. They're looking to see if you have the ability inside of yourself, that this universe can use what you have inside of you. That if the universe can use the things that you have from your own level of focus. And it is a broken focus that answers back that I can't. It's a broken focus that doesn't see the positivity in the challenges. And so how do we start to turn these into positivity? How do we start to take them and put them in such a way that the universe has that place inside of ourselves where we have those kind of things that are working in our favor, that we have that ability to overcome these types of challenges on a daily basis. So when we ask, how is it possible? So I'm also going to be doing energy readings. I'm also here if you leave a comment before me and actually call in, I will actually do an energy reading for you guys. And so you can definitely see those. If you look back in my videos, you can actually see how I utilize the foundation of focus, which I talk about for the first 30 minutes. Okay? It's not just an exercise for you guys, it's also an exercise for myself to focus to that point, to give the ability to get to that place, to be able to overcome those kinds of challenges. Blessings. Hello. Hello.
What do you mean energy reading? Like, how we? Like,
So first off, your color here is actually green through the screen. So go ahead and talk a little bit. I'll actually help you out if you would like.
because I don't know, I feel like lately I've been registering like a low end, like I've been like really like noticing energy, like I don't know,
So
thinking
your
about
heart's
energy.
been massively affected by whatever's going on around you, and your nervous system is actually taking a lot of the beating. So you feel slightly drained, but also a slight amount of claustrophobia. So you do have definitely a good heart. Uh, and the thing that's actually going on here is the relation with that understanding is there, the understanding, but the actual ability to voice your heart isn't coming out. So it's kind of like a short. Are you with me? So
Maybe.
so it's okay. It's okay that it happens. It means that when you start to utilize what you do have inside, which is actually there, you actually have a great thought process, which is the yellow energy field, which is below that. But it's a lot of more so to deal with this ability to stand the ground than stopping your nervous system. You most likely have a lot of the depth perception. That's really the biggest drain is the ability to even like get up and go for a walk.
Fuck, man, you're kind of on point on this one. Like,
Well, I've been
it's
meditating for almost 8 years, almost a decade. I've been doing meditation, and I can literally walk in a room and start talking with people and have multiple conversations. So actually, that's why it's called an energy reading, because I can actually read the energy inside of a human being. So it's scientific as well. You can pull up a heat scanner and actually see those energy fields inside of a human being. This is actually what gurus in India have been doing for a very long time. It's just like it took the time to be able to start to learn it. It's scientifically provable. You take a heat scanner, put it in front of somebody, you'll see the energy fields themselves that truly exist. I can actually read those. So, without even having to have that kind of thing. So that basically means that, yeah. So what needs to start to happen is, so this is coming more so from the heart, and that's the reason why the nervous system and you're feeling like your heart is being, exploding in a sense, but at the same exact time being crushed. So it's expanding. However, the nervous system is not accepting because you're feeling like you're not seeing it in front of yourself. So one of those ways is to use the foundation that I talk about for about 20 minutes, not only for myself, but for other people, is to recognize that you can open up those other parts of yourself. You can start to utilize that. There is the ability to get out there, listen to positivity, speak it out and, start to get it from here where it actually is being, held back from the other parts of the energy being able to use, and to start to get it up, start to voice yourself out, start speaking it out to people, okay? You with me?
do you want my money? Is that what you want?
Well, at a certain point, I will be helping people out at that extent. I mean, at this point, I really just want to uplift people. I really want to utilize what I do have the ability to do to help out many people. Eventually, a reading will be like $100 a reading. So take advantage of this. You understanding what I'm saying? Like my videos are out there: motivation, meditation, inspiration.yoga. This is absolutely, this is there for you to uplift you. So the thought process inside is the thing that you want to get to. Getting to that place is going to require utilizing, a lot of the stuff that you've had go around you has worked with teams. You were a part of a team before. You always wanted to be a part of a team.
Um, yeah.
So
I was gonna say something else. What was I gonna say? Um, yeah, but you made me want to do yoga or something. Like, but yeah, I don't know how.
it's okay. if you go back through my stuff, motivation, meditation, inspiration.yoga is my website. It's also linked here in Periscope. You can actually start to get the mentality in place where you can start getting those things going for yourself. I talk about focus for the first 30 minutes a day. Then I talk about meditation for 10 minutes. And then I talk about the connection between knowledge and focus, which is a disciplining yourself to be you. And then that discipline shows as a reflection. And that's when other people start to see you as an inspiration. So that reflection of discipline is actually inspiration. So when people are being seen as inspiration, they're utilizing their knowledge and their focus. And so a lot of people that are utilized in the green energy field and where the energy inside of the heart has a lot to do with the upper chamber or the lower chamber of the heart. And in your case, this has to deal with the lower chambers of the heart, which is the understanding part. Not necessarily the relation, but more so with the understanding, because below the green energy field is the thought process, or the yellow energy field. And so understanding each individual energy source is definitely important, how it relates to you and which energy field is most utilized. You understanding what I'm saying?
Are you saying like I'm like a wounded gazelle and I'm just like I have like a gash in my hindquarter or my heart and I'm just slipping through the earth, like just like barely getting by? Is that like the picture you're trying to describe? You know?
Well, no, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. What I'm saying to you is that it's good to have that type of energy. It's also important to learn how to utilize it properly. What I'm saying is that each of us have a solid energy field that works the most. That when we utilize it and we utilize what we do have, because it's never about what we don't have. It's always about what we do have and what we do with what we got. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So if you know
like,
that
are you trying to freak me out? Like I might have like a nervous breakdown. No, I don't know. Like
it's
you're
okay.
Like a psychic, right? No.
So no, I am not a psychic. All right, I am no psychic. I am actually a yogi. I am what they would call from the darkness to the light, which is the definition of a guru. Okay, and I've been at this for almost a decade.
Wait. So you have no negative thoughts or something, or do you have no thoughts?
Okay. So focus and knowledge are what exists. You have an incoming breath, you have a center breath, and you have an outgoing breath. Inside your body, you have 7 energy fields that exist. Each individual energy field has to deal with a different part of the human being, okay? So each energy field has a relationship with the human's whole entire being. So understanding how the relationship of these energy fields flows inside of a human being is a mastery of the incoming and the outgoing breath centered inside of the classroom of oneself. So what you're actually seeing is a teacher. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So I'm no psychic. I deal with energy. That's why the name of this is energy readings. So like I was saying, definitely I could charge $100 a session per reading, and I'd have people lined up out the door. I more so want you to uplift yourself. I want you to see that what you have is an ability to utilize what you do have. Use the energy inside of yourself so it flows, so that you can see how you can use it to your advantage. So you can uplift yourself, so that your knowledge and your focus can come together centered inside of you. I'm here to uplift you. You with me?
Yeah, I mean, I am. You're solid, bro. You're a solid person. I can already tell. Like, I feel vibes too. I feel like the vibe thing is like a real thing. Like people feel each other's like, I don't know. Energy is just another word, right? And like vibe, like
sure.
I don't know what you want to
Well, energy is real. I mean this in a sense where you could take a heat scanner, you could go online and type in human energy, or even energy scanner online, and you will literally see machines that read red, green, purple, blue, and orange, and energy fields within the body, and a white energy field, which is like white lights, kind of like cable colored. It's in every human being. By the way, there's every single human being has this. It's like if you turn on a cable TV, you know there's white noise?
Yeah.
It's in every human being. So this thing, like, it doesn't matter who it is, it's inside. So these energy fields, I can see them. So I can actually see these energy fields and how they flow inside a human being. And so I've been doing so much practice in this in the last decade nearly that I can read the energy inside of a human being just even speaking to them.
So wait, what is, okay, there's 7 different ones, and then each one is a different color. So what was the green one?
So the green one is the heart. So the red one is the ability to stand your ground inside and out. Then you have the human organ system, which makes male and female. You understand? This got to be G rated because I post this on YouTube. Okay. Then there's the yellow energy field, which is the thought process. So every single thought that you think comes out of your yellow energy field. So then you have the heart, which is the green energy field. This has to deal with the lower chamber and the upper chamber of the heart. The lower chamber being the understanding, the upper chamber being the relation of the heart. Then you have the ability to voice yourself, which is the blue energy field. Then you have the purple energy field, which runs through the depth perception, your eyes, the ability to see the actual, like going for a walk or things like that. And then you have the nervous system, which is called in India the Nadi system, which is a nerve mash of over 20,000 nerves in your body. Now, each of those individual colors relate to you in a whole being that way. So inside of yourself, you have an incoming breath, which is the focus being absorbed. And then you have a center place, which is yourself, so this body. And you have an outgoing breath, which is the knowledge being released from a level of focus inside of yourself to extract, to test you as the breath is going out. So understanding that the process of allowing focus to become the foundation, allowing yourself to utilize the simplicity. It's simple to learn how to meditate. It's very simple to learn how to meditate. It's not simple to continue to meditate, to continue to push yourself, to continue when other people say stop, when other people tell you don't do it, when other people say you can't do this. And that's how the level of focus works. The level of focus is a reflection outwards that other people see. And so that's how that's utilized in that way. So how can we start to go within ourselves so we can start utilizing this process so that we can start to overcome our own challenges to where the things that we are going through on a daily basis, we start to overcome, that we have that kind of ability to get to that place inside of ourselves where the reflection radiates outwards, where our level of focus starts to do the extraction within ourselves, where we start to become one inside the classroom, where the simplicity starts to utilize what you do have, where the ability to be within you is available to you, where the challenges that you face off against are you versus you, and the process is that ability to go within yourself. The process is that ability to overcome your challenges. The process is the ability to give yourself that ability to have an able mentality, to have an able ability to utilize that ingoing breath, that ingoing process, that ingoing focus, that ingoing ability to be within oneself, to where that internal breath becomes a student where that internal breath starts to give you that kind of ability to where the challenges no longer on the outside are not happening but being manifested. And so focusing to that point where when things become a result on the outside from your level of focus starts to utilize your internal universe, your ability to focus to the point where you can be a student extracting the knowledge inside of the classroom of you, extracting that ability inside of yourself, extracting that kind of place, giving yourself that kind of ability, that the knowledge and the focus inside of oneself start to become utilized. So as we become a student inside of the classroom, as we start to give ourselves that center breath, as we start to give ourselves that ability, as we start to get down with those types of challenges that the knowledge starts to overcome from your extraction to the real knowledge inside of yourself, the real ability to become that kind of light, to have that kind of place inside of you. So you're welcome to call in if you would like an energy reading. I'm talking about energy within. So I'm talking about meditation right now, the reflection of meditation. Well, people are welcome to call in and ask questions. I definitely can do energy readings. So as we get to the place where the focus inside of oneself gives us the ability to utilize the energy within oneself, the ability to reflect outwards with that kind of light, lets other people identify with you. It's they that will call you meditation. It is them that will call you a reflection. It is them that will see the light inside of yourself, the ability to break down your own energy fields that ultimately radiate outwards. And so how can we start to utilize this? How can we start to become a light from within? How can we start to use the energy inside of ourselves? And so blessings. I guess I'm going to have two people online here. All right. Kyle, so I'm going to go ahead and give her a few minutes, and then I'll go ahead and work with you in a minute, okay, bud?
Hey, man. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's give her time. Absolutely.
All right. So I guess she's trying to get on here. Huh? So, so energy within a human being is utilized in a way in which when we start to meditate, when we start to get down to becoming the student and the teacher within oneself, a certain point comes where you can actually read energy inside of a human being. You can actually be able to get to that place where you can actually overcome challenges for yourself and at the same exact time help other people too. So that's what it's about. It's about actually giving ourselves these abilities. It's about giving yourself the ability to get that kind of light flowing inside of yourself. So blessings, blessings, blessings. So is it Emily, right?
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Oh, very, very good. So you also have a depth perception, huh? So a lot of the stuff you deal with has to deal with a depth perception, huh?
Elaborate. Tell me more. What do you mean by that?
Well, you feel like when you walk in places, the actual stuff moves out of the way.
What stuff like that? Like negative energy? Like...
Not just negative energy. Well, that's part of how the universe works. So there's 7 energy fields within the human being. Purple energy field is primarily the depth perception. It's to be able to see forward, to see the ability to see at a depth, or the things that you work with work through that area of you.
Absolutely.
So that's a good thing. Also, you voice yourself a lot.
Yeah, I do.
So see, the thing is I've been doing meditation for nearly a decade, and I've done stuff that pretty much is very difficult for people to do. Spent more than 5 hours in a sauna, 5 hours exact, and then walked out and walked in and off and on for an additional 3 hours. Wow. So my meditation level is definitely like uncomparable. So there's not very many people out there that can truly do what I can do with energy. So the last person that I was just doing an energy reading with was like, what, do you want my money or something? I want to help people out. I want to actually uplift people. I want other people to be uplifted from within themselves. I want them to see it's possible for themselves. And, you know, my network is Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration.yoga. If you go to my Instagram, you can see actually my level of meditation. So it's just...
I need to check that out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So, a lot of the challenges that the depth perception has actually is when people start to head to the place upwards, a lot has to deal with the nervous system and the orange energy field into the yellow energy field. So this has to deal with the ability to stand one's ground, because when they stay up in the upper chambers of the energy fields, the ability to stand one's ground starts to be delegated to others. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So the purpose is to get all energy fields to have strength within each individual energy field. So there must be times when you don't feel like you can stand your ground, even though you can see the depth perception.
Yep.
And so you must feel like you lose a lot of energy because your nervous system isn't fired up to that point. So that's what a real energy reading looks like. So how you start to utilize what you do have, and this is why I'm a teacher of the light. That's how you can actually truly tell, because how you start to get this going is go for a walk every day. Start putting a little bit of time for yourself. Start getting to that connection where you start to stand your ground. Start speaking your mind out a little bit. You know, like not allowing others to take that away. Just because you're up there doesn't mean that the other parts of you are not important as well. Or you understand?
Absolutely.
So, so that is what an energy reading is. That is the way that an energy reading can be utilized.
Very cool. Thank you so much for taking your time out. I really appreciate it.
You're blessed. It's a blessing to help other people. My mantra is the law of riches, which means when I help other people, I gain energy as well. So
Absolutely. I so believe that. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Remember to connect with my networks, okay? If you have any questions or anything, you can reach out to me at Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration.yoga. There is a link inside on there as well. So
Absolutely. Thank you.
is there any questions that you might have or challenges that you're going through?
I don't think I have any specific questions right now. I think I was just sort of curious in general about your reading. So I mean, you've definitely given me a good introduction, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So I just appreciate it.
You're welcome. Blessing. You're a blessing in this universe. We all are. Just remember that. And it's understanding how to utilize. When you see the type of energy that you have inside of yourself and you start to allow the rest of the world to use the tools that we have, then the universe has the ability to utilize us as tool in this universe. So,
That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you.
you're welcome, dear. Have a blessed day, okay?
You too. You too.
So anyways, that was 2 energy readings. That was the ability to see 2 different types of energy, a green energy and a purple energy field, depth perception within, the ability to focus, the ability to utilize what we do have, to utilize the energy on such a way that the reflection starts to radiate outwards, the ability to use these types of things that I'm talking about on a daily basis, the ability to utilize them to such a way that we can master our ability to be ourselves, that we can master our ability to go through our own types of challenges, that we can master the ability to use the knowledge and the focus that we have inside of ourselves. All right, Kyle, you're welcome to come online here. as well. Hopefully I can go ahead and start getting some stuff working to help you out as well too. All right, there we go. Blessings. Hello?
Hey man, blessings.
How's everything going?
It's not too bad. How are you?
Very good. Just got done with 2 energy readings.
Yes, I heard them. Sounded great. Sounded spot on.
So,
I'd love to hear mine.
well, you got to get that thought process going, bud. Even though you don't have that position, we still got to start working on getting set up to face off against that challenge that you have. Start writing it down. Start getting those things going in that way. You know, it's okay to have the ability to stand your ground, but you got to utilize the other parts of the energy within oneself.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's what is also holding you back from seeing to that level of depth.
Well, I've been working on it.
And that is a
Definitely
blessing.
been working on it.
That's all we can do is continue to work with what we have, giving ourselves the ability to constantly grow from within who we are, to face off against our own challenges, to become a light in the universe, to light up other people's worlds just from you being yourself. Like when you went to dinner with your family, there were people who needed you there.
Absolutely. So I tell you what, it's what you teach does work. It does work. It's great.
Well, I mean, I was just asked here a few minutes ago, I was just asked, so what? Does that mean you want my money now? And
I heard that.
And I was just like, I'm here to help people right now. But the realistic is there will be a day when, people will be coming to me to the point where I'll have to, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I tell you what, you were spot on, with those 2 past people that you were talking to. So it's pretty impressive.
Yep. Definite.
Very impressive.
Yep. Well, that's the ability to utilize what we do have inside of ourselves. And like this person said here, definitely, all power comes from one source. And so, yes, that does. And it doesn't mean that people can't learn how to utilize that source. So utilizing that source in this universe is definitely up to you. And so just because one can learn to utilize it, as you can see, it is definitely available, and it's up to us to get to that place, right? So like the first lesson that was learned there was when you went to go to dinner with your family, you realized that you could move fear out of your way, right?
Right.
So that came from the source as well too. so yes.
And something that sorry, I let my dogs out here. Like something that someone said was like, this is not like psychic powers that you have. It's meditation, really. And like what you were doing for those other 2 people, it was not like you weren't being a psychic, but you were just reading. Like what exactly were you doing? It was like reading their energy.
Yep.
Is what you were doing.
Yep.
And that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was very, very interesting.
Well, give me 1 minute. So yeah, that is really how it works. That is a real reading.
Yeah.
That is a real ability. Those are real people who have real challenges, being able to work through their own challenges utilizing technology that comes from India.
So you didn't know either of those 2 people?
Nope.
I don't.
First time I spoke to them.
So if you didn't know me at all and know any of my problems, you would have been able to kind of do the same thing,
Yep.
basically?
Yep.
Okay. But since you know me, though, I mean, it's kind of biased, I guess.
I'm telling you, you saw more than twice. You saw, at this point, this has been 7 people have already had their energies read.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's I mean, it definitely is, and each individual's, you know, in that place with their own story, with their own path, with their own journey, and their own challenges. And so that's why inspiration is so important, because that means that one connects to that level where they use what they have, the knowledge that I have, and the ability to use that focus to that point where I can even read the energy inside.
Right. And I don't want to hold anybody up from coming on to your channel to get their energy read. So, you know, I don't want to hold anyone up.
Sure. No, I understand. If there's anybody who needs to hop in here, just go ahead and set up. And like I was saying, even if it's at a later date, there's motivation, meditation, inspiration.yoga.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you want me to log off or something, I will.
no, it's okay.
Okay.
So that's a blessing to have challenges, though. And have you started to write this stuff down so that you can actually go? I know you were looking at a position to even go have the ability to overcome the challenge in front of you.
Yeah. So I've actually started a journal, really. I've turned around my resume for this other job, and for Catalyst,
Uh huh.
and I'm gonna go for it. There's no buts this time. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna steer ahead and take on the challenge.
There we go. There we go.
I'm gonna try it.
You could do this,
Try
man.
That out.
It doesn't
No
matter
buts.
what the end result
No
is.
buts.
What matters is that you overcome the challenge.
I'm probably gonna. I don't know. So I'm not even gonna say it, but there's no buts. No buts. Just do it. See what happens. Be
Yeah.
positive.
Either way.
Either way, man.
Either way, you know,
Either way.
it'll solve something inside of yourself. It will allow you to overcome your challenges. It will allow you for them to recognize that there's nothing that they could do to stop you from being you.
Absolutely. But I have a question for you, though. Like, you know, as you help so many people, you know, throughout your life, you know, she helped me, and you know, she helped hundreds of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Who helps you? Do you have anybody that helps you out? Like, you know, I'm sure you probably have problems that, you know, you have to work through, and I mean, do you have to reach out for help? Like, you know, ask a person like to help you, kinda.
Well,
If that makes sense.
at different times in our life, we're going to be facing off against our stuff ourselves. However,
Right.
you're definitely going to have your family there if you're searching in the right place.
Right.
So it is up to you to face off against your own challenges.
Right, but you know, I mean, we all have to have help sometimes. You know, I mean, we all like, you know, I mean, I'm talking to you about my situations and stuff, and you know, so we all have to seek some advice at some point. And I mean, do you? I mean, I don't want to get personal, but do you seek advice from others, or do you just go with your gut feeling on things? And
Okay, so other people try to give their advice.
okay,
Sometimes I take their advice, but ultimately the advice I take is from within.
okay, gotcha.
So I don't really excuse myself from anything.
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm saying is that I use what I'm telling you right now. And so that means that those choices that are made are ultimately my own.
So you'll seek, well, people will give you the advice, but in the end, you'll make your own decision.
Sure.
Yeah.
We all have people around us that are trying to do that.